Today our topic is surface chemistry. Let us discuss surface chemistry today. First of all, we have to learn what is mean by surface. According to STEM, it's called scanning, tunneling, electron microscope. What the surface means? Surface means the from first layer up to the ninth layer of the solid. So surface means from first to ninth layer of the solid. Yeah, you can say as far as your textbook is concerned, you can say surface means very exterior part of the solid. If anybody asks you what is mean by the surface, so you will say from according to STEM, in scanning, tunneling, electron microscope, surface means from the first layer up to the ninth layer of the solid. Yeah, you can say in simple language, by surface you mean the very exterior part of a solid. Whenever you study the very exterior part of a solid, it refers to the surface. And the second concept, the branch of chemistry which deals with the surface, I can say which deals with those compounds, those reactions which takes place on the surface, that branch of chemistry is called as surface chemistry. Got it? So I can say, repeat a point, the branch of chemistry which deals with those reactions which takes place on the surface. Yeah, I can say it is that branch of chemistry which deals with surface phenomenon. I am writing on this whiteboard. I write it only on the surface of this whiteboard, so I can call it as a surface phenomenon. That branch of chemistry which simply deals with the surface phenomenon, that branch of chemistry is called as surface chemistry. Nowadays, it's regarded as modern branch of the physical chemistry. Now, it has been seen that this surface has got two problems. One type of problem is that is called as surface tension. One type of problem which lies on the surface is called as surface tension. What do you mean by here surface tension? Surface tension means the unequal forces, unbalanced forces present on the surface of a solid, that can be called as surface tension. Because of the surface tension of the topmost layer of the surface, it has got very high surface energy. Because of very high surface energy, the topmost layer of a solid is regarded as unstable. So it is unstable because of unsatisfied force, because of unbalanced force. That's why you can say surface has got very high surface energy. Because of very high surface energy, surface is regarded as unstable. So number 1 point, I'll repeat, surface has got two problems. Problem number first, it has got unequal forces. That unequal forces present on the topmost layer of a solid is called as surface tension. Number second problem the surface suffers is the residual valency. Number first is the surface tension. Number second is the residual valency. By residual valency we mean the topmost layer of a solid has got unsatisfied valency. If you take this as the topmost layer, let me take the carbon atoms on the surface. As you all know, carbon forms 4 bonds. On the upper side, the valency of this carbon has not been satisfied. That means the topmost layer in a solid has got unsatisfied valencies. So I mean to say that valency can be called as residual valency. Now my concept is now simple. Surface has got two types of problems. Problem number first, it has got surface tension. Because of that surface tension, it has got very high surface energy. Number second, the topmost layer has got unsatisfied valency. Because of that unsatisfied valency, it's because of that unsatisfied valency. These unsatisfied valency, I can say these are called as residual valencies. Now, it has been seen that this topmost layer has got two problems as you have read. One is it has got surface tension. Number second, it has got unsatisfied valency, which you called as residual valency. Now what happens? This surface of this solid attracts the nearby molecules towards itself. For example, if you take a solid, if I take a solid, this solid will attract the gas molecules towards itself. Now, when this gas is attracted by the surface towards itself, because of this ammonia gas will be now present only on the surface of the solid without penetrating inwards. Remember it once again. This surface, as you know, it has got surface tension. Number second, it has got residual valencies. Because of these surface tension, because of this residual valency, it will attract the gas molecules towards itself. When the ammonia gas is passed on the solid surface, this surface attracts the ammonia molecules towards itself. Then these ammonia gas molecules will be present on the surface of a solid without penetrating inwards. It will only remain only at the surface. It will not penetrate inwards. This term has been named as adsorption. So what is adsorption? What is mean by adsorption? It means the existence of a substance on the surface of the other substance without penetrating inwards. I'll repeat. It is the existence of a substance, gas, liquid on the surface of the solid, you can say, without penetrating inwards. The term has been called as adsorption. These gas molecules will not penetrate inwards. They will not go bulk. That means they will not penetrate inwards. They will be present only on the surface of the solid. That term can be called as adsorption. So I can repeat. It is the existence of a substance on the surface of the other substance without penetrating inwards. That is called as adsorption. Now, it has been seen that during adsorption, there is formation of new intermolecular force between the gas and the solid surface. Due to the formation of new intermolecular force between the gas and the surface, there is decrease in surface energy. That's my point. During adsorption, there is decrease in surface energy by forming the new intermolecular forces. Now, it has been seen that the surface on which adsorption takes place, is called as adsorbent. Adsorbent, and repeat, it is the surface, it is the solid at which adsorption takes place. That surface is called as adsorbent. And the gas which gets adsorbed on the surface is called as adsorbate. One is called as adsorbent and second is called as adsorbate. I'll repeat. The solid on which adsorption takes place is called as adsorbent, and the gas which gets adsorbed on the surface of a solid is called as adsorbate. Now, I'll say in other words, I'll say when adsorbate, you take gas as the adsorbate and solid as the adsorbent. Between the gas, I can say between the adsorbate and the adsorbent, that means solid, there is formation of intermolecular force. Between the adsorbate, that's gas, and between the solid, there is formation of new intermolecular force. Due to the formation of new intermolecular force, there is decrease in surface energy. The energy which is released, try to understand, the energy which is released when 1 mole of adsorbate, gets adsorbed on the 1 mole of adsorbent, that energy is called enthalpy of adsorption. The energy is called enthalpy of adsorption. I'll repeat. It is the energy released when 1 mole of gas, that means when 1 mole of adsorbate combines with 1 mole of adsorbent, that energy release is called as enthalpy of adsorption. This enthalpy of adsorption is represented by delta H adsorption. And remember, energy is released, so therefore delta H adsorption is negative. So you must learn this point importantly, that whenever adsorbate combines with the adsorbent by forming the intermolecular force or by means of chemical forces or means of covalent bond, ionic bond, there is release of energy. That energy release is called as enthalpy of adsorption. Remember always, whenever adsorption takes place, energy is released. That's called as enthalpy of adsorption. Now, I have got a next point. First, I told you what is adsorbate and what is the adsorbent. Now, I'll write it like this. I write here adsorbate. That means the substance which gets adsorbed. And the adsorbent. That means the solid on which adsorption takes place. When adsorbate combines with adsorbent, there takes place adsorption. There takes place adsorption. Now, I'll take when adsorbate combines with the adsorbent, there takes place adsorption. If you take the reverse process, reverse, in which you are breaking the intermolecular force. When you break the intermolecular force between the adsorbate and the adsorbent, that term is called desorption. I'll repeat, what is desorption? It is the breakdown of the intermolecular force between the adsorbate and the adsorbent. That term is called as desorption. First of all, in the forward direction, there takes place adsorption. That means adsorbate combines with the adsorbent. In the reverse direction, there takes place desorption. What is meant by desorption? It is the breakdown of intermolecular force between the adsorbate and the adsorbent. Now next term I will say, next term is, if first of all there takes place adsorption. If there takes place adsorption, that means if gas, whatever, is only present at the surface. But after some time, if it penetrates inwards, first of all, if it is only present on the surface, that you can call it as adsorption. Then if these gas molecules penetrates inwards, that means they will undergo bulk. That means if they penetrate inwards, that's called absorption. Remember the difference. If the gas particles will be only present on the surface without penetrating inwards, that that's called adsorption. But if the gas molecules are first present on the surface, means taking place adsorption, and if they are afterwards they penetrate inwards, then that means they undergo what? Absorption. First it is the adsorption, and second it is the absorption. Now, then this term is called as sorption. The term used is called as sorption. When there takes place adsorption followed by absorption, the term used is called sorption. This term was given by scientists, that's called as McBain. McBain has introduced the term called as sorption. Remember it, sorption means first of all there must take place adsorption, and afterwards there must take place absorption. That means they must penetrate. First of all they will be present only on the surface. After few minutes, after few seconds, time is not mentioned in any book. If they afterwards they will penetrate inwards, that means they will undergo absorption. The term used is called as sorption. Sorption means if simultaneously
there takes place adsorption and there takes place absorption. Got it now? So you remember what is adsorption, what is adsorbate, what is adsorbent, and what is mean by desorption and what is mean by sorption. Got it?